Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and in this video I'm going to show you how I put together October's Stamp Club card packets. So for the second month in a row, we're going to use the Evergreen Elegant bundle, which is this stamp set and the border tree border punch, something like that. And we're also going to use the sweet ice cream, this happy birthday right here. So let's see what our cards look like. We're going to start with this card here. So we're going to start with the packet that has the balmy blue in it. And in the packet, there's two pieces of basic white. There's a smaller one and a larger one. We're going to stamp, because the smaller one is going to be the front of our card. So we're going to stamp on that first. Let me grab a piece of scratch paper here. And I'm going to just stamp my happy birthday using that Early Espresso ink at the bottom here. So ink that up. And just here in the bottom section, I'm going to just lay it down there like that. Nice. Okay. We're done with that ink. I'm going to put it away, and I'm going to bring in that old olive ink and the tall, slender tree. In the stamp set, it's this tree right here. We're going to use this one. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in another piece of scratch paper. Let's see if I can find, so it doesn't distract too much because it's not very clean. But I'm going to just take and try to get my paper straight and then cover up, and you can kind of see, well, hopefully you have a better piece of scratch paper. You can kind of see that happy birthday. I'm going to cover it up with the paper, and then I'm going to stamp. So I'm going to ink up my tree here, and then I'm going to pay attention here because I want it, see how this card, so it's kind of at the top, so there's not a lot of white up here. I'm going to stamp my tree off the side toward the top. And I'm not going to worry about the bottom down here because we'll fix that later. But I'm going to just take it and stamp it, yep, about there. And then do the same thing to the other side. Take my tree and stamp it about there. Okay, then I'm going to start down here closer to this bottom here and just put it down a little bit lower and stamp it down there. See, and that kind of covers up, well, not really, it didn't, down there. Oh, and I should have stamped it like off again. So stamp it here and there. And then I'm going to stamp it once in the center here, and then I'll use that and stamp it off here. So then I have the different colors of trees. Now what I would do is just kind of help fill in some tree areas and just give you a nice forest of trees so it looks like that. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, and then while I have that stamp out, because then when you move your paper, see you have the ink here, but now you kind of have a straight edge, but we'll cover that up with the ribbon and fix that so it looks better later. But now you have that forest kind of looking thing there. And I'm going to stamp one or two on the inside of my card. So I'm going to take it like this. And before you stamp yours, let me show you what my sample card looks like, because you might want to change your mind. And you noticed I didn't just take it because see this darker ink down here, how it has that, and it stamps like this. See how it's different color? You don't want that on your card. That's why I stamped it once, and then I inked up the ink and stamped it off and stamped it again. But that's just a tip right there. So on my sample card, and in your packet, you have a green strip that looks like this. You could also just take that punch and do a row of trees to put on the inside of your card. This time, I'm gonna stamp my trees like that. Okay, let's assemble our card. So I have the balmy blue here. We're gonna take just our forest here and attach that to our balmy blue. And then with this faux ribbon, what was this ribbon called again? the faux suede trim. That's what this is. It's in the annual catalog in case you like it and want to place it or put it on your order. We're going to just tie around both the balmy blue and that basic white layer a little simple knot. Well, maybe we are. We are, because I'm determined I'm going to. It might take me just a minute or two here to get it the way I want it and where I want it. This is a really nice, thick, I guess that's why they call it trim rather than ribbon, but look how pretty that, and it feels really soft. That's a really soft ribbon. Okay, so now I've hidden to where that bottom of the trees looks. It might have to come down just a little bit more, but now it makes it look like a nice finished instead of that ragged edge I had before. And in fact, I'm going to trim my ribbon down. Get them about even like that. I think this one's a little long. And then I am going to go ahead and place a glue dot under my knot. Just use my take a pick tool and pop one of those glue dots off, and then just place it right here so that my knot doesn't move and it stays where I want it and looks nice. So it ends up looking like that, which I think is really pretty. I think it turned out really nice. And then with some dimensionals here on the back, I find some, there we go, found some dimensionals. I'm going to just place dimensionals on here and then place this onto the front of our card base. And I think I told you this is balmy blue. My card base is early espresso, which matches the early espresso trim. And I shot my, here's the dimensional back that won't go away. Okay, we're just gonna make sure I'm opening my card the right way. Yep, set this right there. Cute, right? And then let's take our little bear here. I'm going to just place a couple dimensionals. Now the little bear is from the Arctic Bear dies, which I have fallen in love with, and they are in the mini catalog. So if you're looking at the Arctic Bears, you'll find them there. Set him right there. Give our card a little bit of character. Then take the inside here, a little bit of adhesive. There we go, and set that in there. And it looks like that. So that's card number 1. Let's go ahead with card number 2. So card number 2 packet looks like this. Again, we're gonna stamp on the basic white. Let me show you what the card looks like. I think it's really cute. Now, I'll be honest with you, I saw this card somewhere on Pinterest, I believe, but I can't even give the person credit because I tried to find it again and couldn't find it. So whoever posted this one on Pinterest, thank you very much. I think it's really pretty, and I wish I could give you credit, but now I can't find it. So I'll keep looking, and if I find it, I'll put it on my blog. Which again, if you want to find the measurements, you can go to my blog, BeCreativeWithKathy.com, and I'll have all the measurements on there too. This is Real Red ink. This is the smaller piece of the 2 pieces of basic white. And I'm going to ink that up, but I have to practice one time. Let me find a scratch paper here. Let me lay him down. Yep. I always like to practice one time before I actually stamp on my cardstock. Right there, I'm going to let that ink sink in, get a nice image. That's pretty. I'm going to set that aside. We're going to use the red ink in just a second, but then I'm going to bring in, this is the old olive ink, and I have that like sprig of greenery, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to stamp it at an angle here, and I'm going to put, so part of the greenery is here and here at an angle on my cardstock. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it just, I think that's the best way to get it where you want it, is to angle it like that across there. Then we're gonna turn the stamp over, and I'm gonna move it down just a little bit toward the bottom, and I'm gonna stamp it again, and I'm gonna try to get my stamps to match here, but yeah, it don't have to be perfect. We're gonna cover it up with some pine cones if it doesn't. So there, ooh, I did pretty good on that one. Thank you very much. Then on the inside of our card, I'm gonna go ahead, that same cold olive ink with that evergreen sprig, and just stamp it here like that. And then with the words, and let me tell you, the words say, "May the beauty of the season bring you joy and warm memories to cherish throughout the year." I'm going to stamp that on the inside of my card in that real red, right underneath that greenery sprig, or whatever it's called, like that. So there's the inside of my card. And yep, I got it too high, so hang on. Thank goodness cardstock is double-sided. Let me do that again. This time I'll do better. I'll pay attention. Should have probably practiced once, huh? There we go. And bring that red in with those words. And this time I'll get my head in the camera and lay it right under. Much better. I like that one better. So now I'm happy and I'm done stamping. Let's go ahead and assemble our card. So I'm going to take this one, cover up that bad side, and lay that on the inside of our old olive card base. Like that. And then layer the front onto that real red. Go, and then the real red onto the front of our card base. So now it looks like that. Okay, let's set that aside and bring in those little pieces and parts of the pine cone. They look like this. Clean up my table a little bit here. And then bring in my silicone mat. And my sticky dauber. So this is just a dauber that I use with liquid glue. I'll show you. And it's always sticky. It never dries because it's liquid glue, Tombow liquid glue. But a little bit of, let's see, I think this one's out. Yep. Find another one. This one has lots. We're going to put a little bit of liquid glue up here in the corner. And then we're going to just daub that glue all over. Whoop, that's the front. I got to turn him over. I want to daub him on the back. And you can tell a front and a back. Oh, and look, there's one little piece left that I didn't get out of my pine cone. So make sure all those little pieces and parts are out. One little booger that's stuck in there that won't come out. There we go. Now I got all my little pieces, yep, and parts out. Okay, and make sure you have the back. But I'm going to just daub that little bit of glue. Doesn't need a lot. It's a little tiny thing. No one's going to try to peel them apart, I hope. And just daub that glue on there and then put them to the base. Now this is early espresso cardstock and this is that cinnamon cider. And I thought the two of them together made a really pretty pine cone. There's one. There's another, and then that big pine cone right here. And this die set, the pine cones, are part of a bundle called Christmas to Remember that's in the mini catalog right now. It's a great stamp set. I think we'll probably be using that one next month. Because next month we're doing all Christmas cards, and it'll kind of be like one of my Stamp a Greeting class where all you need is a couple ink pads and a Christmas stamp set, and I'll send you all the die cuts in your packet and we'll make some really pretty cards. So this one, the big pine cone, I'm going to just take and put some tape runner on the back and lay him right here on my card. Now you might want to like lay them out and see how they look and stuff, but I'm going to just slap them down. I'm kind of bad that way. I've made this card a couple times, and so I'm not going to worry about it. But if you're worried about positioning, you could lay them in place and see where you like them and then put them down. But I think I'm going to just take him there And then this pine cone, I'm going to just add a mini dimensional so it doesn't get in the way of the other pine cone. Let's see, I have some black mini dimensionals right here. He'll work perfect. And just kind of put it at the top there. And then that way when I lay it down, the dimensionals won't be on top of each other and really thick. They'll lay about the same level. But so it looks about like that. Yeah. Okay, so then there's this itty bitty thin red ribbon. Now this is from the dog, and I think it's a dog bundle, Playful Pet, something like that. I don't know. It has this skinny red ribbon and some black kind of black and white baker's twine. But this little ribbon I think is perfect for this kind of card because you need an itty bitty bow on there. We don't want to overwhelm our pine cones. We just want to add a little bit of balance. So I'm going to tie that in just a simple knot like that. Take my paper snips here, trim that down. Looks like that. And then with a glue dot, I'm going to take a glue dot right here. Take a pick tool, fold it in half, and I'm going to just lay it right here on my card base. Maybe I am a sticky little booger. Now I got one stuck to my thumb. You know, maybe I have one extra one. I'll just put 2 of them on there because now I got glue dots everywhere. My ribbon is going to stick down really well. There we go. And stick my little ribbon right there on my pine cones. And then last and not least, and of course they were right here, those little rhinestones that you got in your packet last month. Oh, really? They were right here, and now I can't find them. That's embarrassing. But I'm going to put some of those rhinestones on here as soon as I can find. Oh, here they are. Of course, they're like a snake, and my mother would say they're a snake. They would have bit me because they're right in front of me. Okay, I'm going to take a pick tool, and I'm going to just place 3 of those little rhinestones right here on the front of our card. Now, I think those rhinestones on that green are really, really pretty and gives it a very Christmassy effect. And then on the inside, I'm even going to put 3 more right here on the inside. So there you go. So let me show you the cards again. All finished. Thank you for being a part of club. If you're interested in joining our card club, it's just a $30 purchase. I send you all the consumable card stocks, ribbon, bling, stuff like that, and the die cuts. And then you need to just supply the ink pads and the stamp set. We tend to use the same bundle for 2 months, and then except for this month, like I said, November will be different because we've already used the bundle a second time. We don't meet in December, so it's going to be a little bit different next month. But like I said, if you're interested in Stamp Club, be sure and let me know. I'd love to give you and answer all your questions. Okay, so there we go. Oh, and this is the third card. This is the card that I made for you. And it's using the Gingerbread Designer Series paper, the same sprig like we used here with the Christmas in between. And this was I borrowed off, or I cased from Pinterest too. And I hope, I don't know who did that one. There's so many variations of this one, I don't even know who to give credit. But there you go. So there's this month's cards. I hope you like them. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.